Hello, hello, it's the Curious Lo, Lauren here with another review. Now today I have Zombicorn by John Green, but this is a book review and I do feel a little bit underdressed. One second. Ah yes, much better. This dress is quite chocolatey, don't you think? Yes, quite. Now you might think this book is about mystical undead horses, but as the saying goes, don't judge a book by its cover. Zombicorn is the story of Mia, a 16-year-old girl in the midst of the zombie apocalypse. Only it's not your average zombie apocalypse. These zombies aren't obsessed with killing for brains, blood, or flesh. They're obsessed with the planting of corn. The story goes that a virus by the name of Devotion 131Y, which, as Mia hypothesizes, was spread through canned corn. It causes its victims to become so devoted to corn that they will do anything to make corn happy, anything to keep it safe and healthy. And that includes getting as many people as possible to eat corn infected with Devotion 131Y. Once infected with D131Y, its zombified victims, or Zs as Mia calls them, zombie is much too cliche of a word for Mia, act similar to other zombies. They're slow, they continue to come at you even with terrible injuries. They can't talk, and they will eat you, but they'll eat pretty much anything else as long as they're well fed enough to continue planting and caring for their beloved corn. After losing her family, Mia moves out and spends time with a few different people, killing Zs and just trying to survive. But no one makes a lasting impression, except Caroline. Now, Caroline is very different from Mia. Where Mia just hopes that someone will find a cure, Caroline wants to kill all the zombies, because in her book, they just don't have a soul. Caroline spends most of her time with Mia trying to convince her to let go of her beliefs and that the Zs can't be cured. Sounds like a certain sheriff's deputy and farmer from another zombie story that I've reviewed. Fast forward to Mia in the basement of that abandoned house. She's a completely different person, devoid of hope. She sits in the basement, drinking what is left of the wine stored there, and writes down her story, hoping to find meaning in it all. She wonders through her recounting why she even cares. She questions her basic instinct why she wants to eat and sleep and soldier on. Mia struggles throughout telling her story with why she feels the way she does. The way Mia sees it, she's just like the Zs. She fights to maintain a goal that doesn't make sense. She survives simply because her body wants her to, and she's too scared to end her own life, so she continues. The zombies keep going because they want corn to be safe and happy and growing and spreading. They survive because corn wants them to. And they're too stupid to end their own lives, so they continue. Which is a very relevant topic. Not only why do I want to buy this shirt or that car, why do I want to marry that type of person? Why do I post reviews of things on the internet? I've enjoyed reading John Green's other books. He's unique in the young adult genre in that he trusts his audience to be smart. John gives me an interesting and realistic voice. She thinks about things deeply, but is also prone to the occasional rash decision. Mia is extremely relatable in that way. She's a strong person, but when she hits a critical point in her story, she falls hard, and it takes her a while to get back up, which is extremely relevant for its intended audience. What teen hasn't hit rock bottom only to have to pull themselves out of it again? The tone of this story is not one of foreboding and darkness that you might expect from the zombie genre. If you didn't catch on from the title, Zombicorn doesn't try too hard to take itself seriously. Mia and Caroline spend a rather hilarious section of the book trying to come up with titles to anthropological studies of zombies. Let's see, what to read today? What to expect when you're expecting a zombie apocalypse? Or Mostly Grunting, a linguist explores zombie communication. Needless to say, I was laughing through pretty much the entirety of this story. But for all its great qualities, Zombicorn seems to fall short in its ending. Now, without spoiling anything, Mia seems to be on the verge of a breakthrough when she decides to end her reaccounting. And being that this is structured like a journal, we don't know what happens to her. The story just kind of ends. And not in a dramatic way so as to leave us pondering her last words. It's frustrating to say the least. Oh, flaws. Zombicorn tries to get us to think, and in that, it succeeds. You spend just as much time pondering your own existence as you do following Mia through her zombatic woes. Even with its lackluster ending, you still find yourself drawing parallels to your own life, and the lives of people you know. This hilarious and deep zombie apocalypse story was incredibly engaging and a really enjoyable read. I'd give Zombicorn by John Green an 8 out of 10. And with that, I'd like to leave you with my favorite quote from Zombicorn. Corn wants the world to contain more corn. So corn evolves us to agree with it. Corn what says that we can make plastic out of corn, or sugar out of corn, or fuel out of corn, etc. Flu makes us cough, which spreads the flu. Corn makes us corn hungry, which spreads corn. Thank you. This actually isn't a real book. It's hollow, but it looks cool.